So, the new firmware is out. Fuji have fixed it, and we have Reala Ace as well. So I thought I'd record this very quick first impressions of the update on the XS20. I haven't checked the XT5 yet, but this is the XS20. I've got some sample video to show you in a moment that I've had a chance to review. But this is what Reala Ace looks like. We're at a white balance of 5000. It's natural light. I haven't got any lighting. I'm just using window light. And it's quite a nice, pleasing look with a little hint of warmth to it. I think I could really enjoy filming in this. So there's one thing for you. This is what Reala Ace is like, and it's nice to have it in camera now. I think it's more so nice to have film simulations of video shooters, but you JPEG shooters out there, I'm sure, are going to enjoy this new film simulation. In time, I'm going to do a few videos on this. I'll go out and do some photographs in Reala Ace so we can see what it's really like. Now, on to video autofocus. The camera did have some problems with subjects, as I said in my video that came out yesterday, Natalie's sofa. I was talking about this update coming out, and ironically, it came out minutes after I posted the video. You couldn't make it up. So here we are. I've updated both cameras. I've done it so you don't have to yet. Always wait a bit before people do it. So my cameras are up to date. Is it better? Early days. First impressions are, it is improved. So for talking heads like this, it was never really much of a problem. Because I'm pretty static. Moving to and from the camera, as long as my face was there, it was able to stay locked on, or if it momentarily lost, as you can see, I'm going to play the footage back now. If it momentarily lost me, it would get me back. Now, where it does get confused, at the minute I've got this on face eye, but I've got a zone about here. And if it lost me for any reason, if I turned round, and this is what happened when I did turn around, it's supposed to keep a lock on the back of my head as the human detect kicks in. It was struggling there. So, you know, I've got to tweak the settings and play with it. I'm not saying it's like a bust, but there are potential issues with it. But it's improved. And if I'm moving towards the camera, quite quickly, again, it was managing to stay locked on. If I turned my head to the side, took my glasses on and off, fiddle with them, put my hand across my face, it was able to stay locked on fairly well with only momentary drops. But it certainly has problems when you turn away. It loses you. And I don't know why yet, but it's early days. So it's not necessarily fixed yet. I'd wait for more tests to come out before rushing out to update. Unless it's so dreadful that you've got nothing to lose. I also tested on my little feline friend here, Rosie, of her washing herself, and I was moving the camera to and fro, and it was able to keep locked on to side profiles, and it was able to keep locked on to the eye. Now, when I did some tests before, I've lost them when I did them. I thought I kept them, but I didn't. I must have deleted them. When I did some tests before, it was just completely losing Rosie. It couldn't lock focus. Similar to the things you've seen. You've probably gone on YouTube and had a look. And there were certainly some issues there with a lot of people having this problem. So I think, again, with the cat, it momentarily would lose her when she would turn or her paw would come up. But it was reacquiring, and I think this was the biggest problem with the firmware bug, was that the camera wouldn't reacquire the subject. So even though I turn my head away from the camera and it loses me, which is not ideal, it was reacquiring me when I turned around. So in addition to the video you've just seen of my cat and me, let's try that one more time. So I would turn to a side profile, and I can see that it's got an eye box on me, and it's acquired me immediately. And I'll turn around. It may well lose me, and I'll turn back. But as soon as I turn back, I've got an eye box, and that's a good thing. And I can see, if I just take my glasses on, I'll pretty much look in focus. I mean, obviously I'm looking at the screen on this one, whereas before, to get the detail as well as looking at on the screen, I looked at it through the viewfinder, which magnifies it, and you can go right in to get some detail there. So there's definitely an improvement. But as I said on my Darkly So video, I want to do a more long-term test of this. I just wanted to get a video out to sort of say I tried it. But I'm far from happy that the problems are fixed. And I don't think anybody who goes along today, unless they've spent a couple of days testing every scenario, can honestly go out and say the problems are fixed. There's a definite change, and the camera seems to be able to acquire things more easily. What it was doing before is it was losing them completely, and it just wouldn't reacquire them. That's if they were moving or rapidly. Static things like this, I'm quite static. The camera was never having a problem. And in fact, I recorded the whole of the Nightly Sofa episode last night on this very camera with the knackered firmware, not the new firmware. And we'll have to record next week on Reala Ace on the XS20 to see if there's any difference. But when I recorded last night and I reviewed it afterwards, I didn't see any drops or glitches in the loss of autofocus. But like I say, the camera never had a problem. And because I mainly do talking heads or I film subjects like birds that are sort of on a branch and fixed on that branch, they're hopping along like that, they're not coming towards me, I didn't spot it straight away. So it looks like it's going in the right direction, but this is a first impressions. If you're at all in doubt, wait before firmware updating so more people have tested. The only thing I would say today is if you really want the firmware update, because it's just dreadful and it couldn't get any worse, it does seem to be slightly better. But I haven't had time to test to see if any additional bugs have been introduced. I've tested two types of subjects, headshots, me walking towards the camera and me walking towards the camera a bit erratically just to see what it does, and a few pictures of my cat doing difference from the side, from the front. Certainly it was tracking, and when it did lose her, it picked her up straight away. So make of it of you will. Those of you who have been brave enough to do the update, please comment below. Those of you who are on the old firmware and have had problems, drop a comment. And indeed, if, like me, you didn't see the problem straight away or you've never had a problem, also drop a comment. It's another one where the jury's very much out. But first impressions are, there definitely seems to be a move in the right direction. And Reala Ace is nice, pretty nice out of camera. It's quite warm. This is it in natural light, as I say. I've deliberately set the white balance to 5,000 to make it a little bit warmer. But it's quite punchy with the colours. And as I say, we've got light outside is overcast. I've got some orangey light here off to my right, just to give me a bit of a key light. I've got no studio lighting. It's just me with the stuff behind me. It looks all right. We've got a 1/8. I think it's a 1/8 Black Pro mist filter on, just to soften things up a little bit. Anyway, folks, catch you all later. Bye.